Hey everybody, Joe Casabona here, and today I'm going to show you how to make a block pattern with really the least amount of code required. You'll still need to make a plugin, but I'm going to walk you through the whole thing, and I'm going to make most of this code, if not all of it, available on GitHub, which I will link in the description below. So if you have ever wanted to create your own block patterns for WordPress and Gutenberg, here is how to do it step by step. Before we get into that, I would love if you subscribed to this channel. I put out content like this all the time, and I go live once a week. So if you want to know when I'm going live, subscribe to this channel, click that bell. It'll be great. You can join me on the live stream. Ask me whatever questions you want in real time. And if you want even more content like this, as well as ad-free episodes to my podcast, you can sign up for $5 a month over at buildsomethingclub.live. I've got lots of great stuff in store, but the value's already there. I made sure not to launch a membership without being able to deliver value for $5 a month. But there's lots of stuff planned too. So check it out, buildsomething.club, and subscribe to this channel. All right, let's get into the tutorial. So on the screen here, you see a content upgrade of sorts. Want to see how I put it all together? And this comes at the bottom of a long form blog post. Now, what is on the other side of this paywall is a members only blog post. And so I have a headline and I have some preamble before telling people to join the Build Something Club. And this is important because I want to show you that this is custom content based on the post. So I could use a reusable block that says, hey, you want more content? Join the Build Something Club, which I actually do at the bottom of my podcast episode. So this is a reusable block because it is the same every time. But for posts or these blocks where I have content that I want to change, I want to have a block pattern. So I'm going to show you how to do that on my local site here. So we'll go to casabona.local, and then we'll just find some random blog post here. So we'll go to just any old blog post here, and we want to view it on the front end, which is a frustrating thing to do with the full site editor up. But that's okay. We'll go to the permalink, and here we go. So maybe at the bottom of this, I want to encourage people, hey, do you want to get access to the code or whatever? So let's go ahead and create that block pattern. The first thing I'm going to do is just open up a page here. I'm not going to publish this page, but we are going to use this to grab the block code. So let me get my face out of the way here so you can see everything we're working with. And first I want a heading, and I'm just going to call this teaser heading. Right, this is going to be the block pattern. So I want to make sure that I have good placeholders here. Then we'll have a paragraph. We'll call this teaser text. We'll put this in all caps as well. Teaser text. And then period. Join the Build Something Club. And we can link this. And then we want to add a button. So we'll add a button, join for just $5 per month. And then we'll make this a link. This will also go to the Build Something Club. Okay, and maybe we want to center all of these things. Justify content center. There we go. So we're not going to save this, but instead we are going to go to the code editor. So we'll click the three dots up in the right-hand corner, and we'll open up the code editor. This will give us the code that we need to create our block pattern. So I'm going to copy this by pressing Command C or Control C on Windows. And then I'm going to go to this other open tab here, jsonformatter.org. I will link that in the description below. But we need to escape all of this. The WordPress plugin that we're going to create requires that all of this be escaped. Well, WordPress requires that block patterns be escaped. So I'm going to paste this here with Command V or Control V on Windows. And then I'm going to click escape. And then you could see that there's a nice virtually single line looking block here. So I'm going to copy this with Command C or Control C. You can also press this little copy to clipboard icon up here. And then I'm going to open my code editor. So I already have a bit of code. I already have this plugin defined, but we are going to make a plugin. You could add this to the functions.php file of your theme, but I would strongly recommend making this a plugin because you want these patterns to be portable if you change the theme or whatever, right? So you can see I have the definition here. Again, I'm going to gloss over this. This isn't a full plugin tutorial, but I've got the plugin definition. I have the little security feature here saying that if this file is called directly, kill it. We don't want it. We don't want people accessing this file directly. I have the version, and then I have require once inc/patterns. And a folder up here. I'll make this, that's only the code that gets bigger. But on the left-hand side here, I have some files, and one is the patterns file. And so in here, I have a single function called JC block patterns. And at the bottom of this file, I have an action added, init JC block patterns, which will execute this function on WordPress initialization. Inside this function, I am calling a built-in function called register block pattern, and this accepts a couple of arguments. So if we bring this up in the WordPress documentation, the patterns are the pattern name, pattern including namespace. Namespacing is something in PHP that makes sure that our functions don't collide with other functions. It essentially creates a little container for all of the functions. So you'll see the namespace and then the pattern name and then the properties. And we'll walk through the properties in the code, but there are 4 that we'll be using here. So I'll link this page in the show notes as well. It's over on developer.wordpress.org. I just said show notes. I really meant description. Okay, so first of all, the namespace we have here is jc-block-patterns, and then the name of this particular pattern is JC content upgrade. The first argument in the array is title, so this is what will show in the block patterns panel. So we'll just call this content upgrade. I'm using the translation function here, so we also need the namespace for the translation. And then we need a description. So the second array key here is description, a simple set of blocks to encourage people to join the membership. Okay, and then we have the content. We'll skip over this for a minute because I want to show you the categories. The categories will correspond. We can create our own, but I'm not going to do that right now because it's only one block pattern. The categories correspond with what we see in the WordPress editor. So let's go back to our browser for a minute. And I'll exit the code editor here. If I click the plus sign and look at patterns, we'll see we have several categories: buttons, columns, galleries, headers, and text. Now, of these, again, I can create my own, but of these, this is probably a button, right? The main focus of this is button. So the category here will be for buttons. And then in the content, we will paste what we put into or what we got out of JSON formatter. Okay, so with that, we'll save this. We have our block pattern created. Let's go back to our WordPress site. We'll come out of here. We won't save this. And instead, we'll go to plugins. We should see our new plugin, Joe's Block Patterns here. We'll click activate. Okay, nothing broke at this point. So let's go to our post here. We have our post. I will click edit post. I will scroll down to the bottom and I will add the content upgrade here. So I can click the black plus sign here. I'll click the blue plus sign over here so we can access the patterns. And there you go. We have our content upgrade pattern here. If we add this, it's exactly how we designed it in the block editor. So now I can say, want to get the exact want to get the complete plugin, comma, and then join the club. We don't need to change this button. And then I'll click update. And if we view the post now, want to get the complete plugin. So there you have it. That is how you create a block pattern with or for WordPress. You create it in the editor, you copy the text or the code, I should say. You bring it over here to jsonformatter.org. You create the plugin. Again, I will provide this exact code so you can just change these 3 sections and then we can go on from there. Now, I will just specify one thing here, right? Register block pattern registers a single new block pattern. So while I haven't done research into how other plugins and themes are doing this, I reckon that if you want to create more than one, you can just copy this and paste it below to create as many as you'd like. Or if you are going to have just a whole bunch, you could probably do design patterns, button patterns, and have multiple different includes here. But that's it for this video. I hope you liked it. If you did, be sure to subscribe to this channel. Press the thumbs up button to like this video. If you want even more tutorials, access to previous live streams and things like that, you can sign up for the Build Something Club over at buildsomething.club. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time, get out there and build something.